are.
I know. Some days just aren't your day.
Know, right?
So, hello, everyone.
Hello, everybody.
Happy Hump Day.
Happy Hump Day. Yes, it is Wednesday. I'm Mark.
I'm Steve, and this is
SmokeySteveAndMarc.
good to see you again.
Yeah.
So, weigh-in Wednesday, too.
Weigh-in Wednesday, too. Yeah, we thought we'd get back to basics, I guess.
Yeah.
We haven't had one in a while, and
No.
I just kind of realized that.
Best way to start is with a confession, probably.
Well, I thought this was going to be like a real talk.
Mm-hmm.
Because most of the time when I'm in videos, I don't know, I try to keep it
You're happy.
light, happy, whimsical. We're either crafting or baking or I'm being silly or...
Yeah.
But they don't always see the other side of it sometimes, you know, because I have problems too,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and so, I don't know, I thought we would just have some real talk today.
Yeah. Unfiltered.
Unfiltered real talk.
Unfiltered. So,
Should we start with Weigh-in Wednesday?
I'll start with mine, because I feel
Alright,
humiliated.
you start with yours, alright.
Okay, so my target weight is 180, and I hit target like 7 months ago. And then I was plateaued at like 184, as you guys know, for like, I don't know, 6 months or something. And I got on the scale last night, and I was 191.4.6. Last night? Night before last. Last night. So, I thought, well, that can't be right. So I ate really well yesterday and drank a bunch of fluids. So, sans water weight and one good day of eating, I'm 189 even. So I've gained 9 pounds above my target.
Yeah.
It might as well be 100.
I know, it feels that way.
It might as well be
it
definitely
feels that way.
And there's no, okay, it's not water weight. I know it's not water weight. Everyone thinks it's water weight. 300-pound people think they're carrying 200 pounds of water weight. I just got complacent. I just got really lazy with my eating.
Yeah.
It seems like every other day turned into a cheat day. And a little excuse here and a little this there. A big part of it was that I was coming home from work, because I gained probably 5 of these pounds in the last 3 weeks. I mean, that crept up fast. That's where it was like kind of freaking me out. Come home, I'm tired. I just don't feel like cooking.
Yeah.
I don't want to eat a vegetable and a brown starch and white meat chicken. I just want something I can eat fast.
No,
And so I'm doing self-indulgence instead of self-care. So eat what I want, makes me feel better, go to bed, wake up, feel like shit, drink black coffee and water all day, promise myself I won't do it again. Do it again, lose myself in the moment, feel numb, go to sleep, wake up, feel guilty, do it all over again.
I know.
And failure just trickles down from the ceiling.
Oh, I definitely can relate, you know, because I've gained weight too. I went to the doctor's on Monday, and I was 201.5 or something like that, and I was like, you know, that can't be, you know, but I was wearing all of my clothes, my shoes, my jacket, my wallet, my phone, my keys, my folder that was inside. I was wearing a lot of stuff, so I'm like, well, that normally I wouldn't say that would count for anything, but I think in that case that it did. So I took everything off and weighed it. Yeah. Because I wanted to get an accurate weight.
Oh,
and
geez. I thought I was the one with the issues.
I know. No, I kind of struggled with this week, but and it was 4 pounds. So a little bit of it came off, I guess, but still 4 pounds from, we'll say, 202. You know, is 197, and the last time I weighed in, which was a few weeks back, was 191, and my goal also was 180. Now, you know, there were a couple factors. I'm trying to give myself a break, but I've had a rough time. I've been taking prednisone, and I really shouldn't be, but I have been taking it pretty much for the last week or two, you know, and that puts it on like that. But, I mean, not in huge doses, and it's not an excuse either. And really, it's not an explanation, because knowing I'm on prednisone, I can do other things to try to manage my weight, and I didn't. I got complacent as well. I kept buying sweets in the house, and I'm all for, you know, I think that, you know, dessert is part of dinner. I think you should have a dessert. I like my sweets, And I'm not going to stop eating sweets. I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
But I do believe that everything should be in moderation. But I was buying all kinds of sweets, and then they're there, and then I'm like, okay, well, I'll have this, and I don't know if that's going to be enough, so I add that to my plate. Well, I won't eat it. I'll just bring it in just in case. Just in case what?
Tornado? I don't know.
I mean, and my mind was conditioned to that, you know? And I've also made poor choices. I haven't been eating vegetables. I haven't been eating fruits. None of it. And for weeks. So I did the same thing you did.
Mm-hmm.
You know, feel bad about it. You know, won't eat one thing all day long. Drink water and nothing and coffee. And then, you know, do it all over again. Feel guilty. And I'm just conditioned and, you know, so, you know... So I thought, well, I'm just going to say it out loud because I got to be held accountable because because of what it's doing to myself. I mean, if I was the person that was like, oh, didn't care about it or whatever, I could say, okay, that's just where I'm at. Everything's great. Don't worry about it. But I do care about it, but I'm not doing anything about it. And then I'm beating myself up because of that. And
I know. Well,
overthinking.
It's one thing if it's just on, I think that's set for 16 hours. So.
Oh, well, that's not going to help us. I thought I'd set the timer and
so
I set it for 16 hours.
Well,
this is going to be a very long video.
Settle in, folks. We should have done a live stream. How much we could clean up in 16 hours.
It's supposed to be 16 minutes.
I know. Well, I'm going to say when that gets to... 1 second, please. I'm going to say when that gets to, like, 18.
Okay.
We might have to stop and restart.
But anyway, so that's...
But, yeah, well, think
about
it's one thing if it's the outside, but it was creeping inside.
Yeah.
It was creeping into my, like, feelings and how I feel about myself and how I relate to the world.
Me too.
And probably no one sees it but me. Maybe no one sees it but me. But I know.
Yeah.
And I remember being fat. And it almost feels like this phony fraud sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then it creeps into other areas of my life where it's like, oh, you're a phony. You're a fraud. You're not really even an adult. You're not 36-year-old man. You're a chubby 13-year-old in adult clothing.
Yeah.
And today's the day everyone's going to know. Today's the day everyone finds out that you're fake. You know. And just exposed.
I can relate to that. Wow.
So, you know, it's a thing. It's a little thing I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So...
And I think, you know, we're both kind of feeding off of each other, too. Normally, we can... I don't know, I can say to you, I've gained weight, and you could give me...
Hi, Cynthia.
Diet Sunkiss.
Diet Sunkiss.
But, you know, I think that we were both feeding off of each other in the last couple weeks, too, making excuses for each other. Oh, it was a bad day, so let's have a piece of pie. Like, it's just... You know, it's a mind game, and it really is. And you know, my tinge of an eating disorder has come up again, and I'm starting to, like, ruminate about it. And, you know, and like you, it affects my insides, it affects my mind and everything. And, you know, that's why I kind of wanted to talk real talk today, because it does affect everything else.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not blaming everything on gaining a few pounds, because, you know, we've had a rough...
Well, it's like symbolic to me. Like, being thin proves that you're in control of your shit.
Yes.
That's not true necessarily. It feels like a truth to me. It's always felt like it was true to me. Mm-hmm. So gaining weight means you're not handling your shit. You're out of control. You have no self-control. You can't make healthy decisions. Mm-hmm. And this is just evidence of it. You know, when really your weight is just... a measure of gravity. I mean, it's just a random number. It means next to nothing. Weigh me in kilograms. I couldn't tell you what the fuck I probably weigh.
Yeah.
You know, but it matters more than it should. I'm giving it more attention than it deserves. Yeah. Really is what I'm doing. I mean, and I'm driving myself nuts doing it.
Yeah. I don't know, but that, you know, but then I start overthinking things, and, you know, let's see. We videotaped last night, and it was raining out. Literally, when we stopped videotaping, the rain stopped. So I was like, oh, there's like another hour and a half of light. I'm going to go work out in the garden. I thought it would be pretty cool. You know, I've been wanting to. And I did. And, you know, it was starting to get dark, and I started not feeling well. Mm-hmm. I started, like, feeling funny, like, on the inside. Like, I think I overdid it, is what happened, because I was digging and lifting rocks and all this kind of stuff, and it just reminds me that I have to pace myself, and I have to, you know, and all that. It gets to be overwhelming. It gets to be too much because I don't like that fact. I would, work until midnight if I could, and then I woke up this morning and I was crippled, and I'm like, oh God, not literally crippled, but I was in pain, and it was a struggle to get to the couch, and I got to the couch and I'm like, this sucks. And then the mind game starts, and then I'm like, accepting this just doesn't work, like you're a failure. You're not going to be able to do anything. Your job, you're not going to be able to work in the garden or have a garden. You know what? I don't even want a garden anyway. Screw it. Like, well, why do I even care? Like, and then I start making excuses for that. Well, I don't own the house. I mean, so why would I do it anyway? Like all those things start ruminating in my head, and the overthinking becomes overwhelming. And then the overwhelming feeling gets to the efforts, and then I just tend to be like, I really don't care about anything. Yeah. Like, I don't want to enter my contests. I have to post on Facebook. Oh, God, I gotta post a picture on Facebook.
Everything feels like a chore, though.
It's not that hard, and it was a struggle, and it took quite a few hours to feel physically better. Mm-hmm. I had to take some medicine, and but the mind thing was worse.
Yeah.
The overthinking and the overwhelming feeling and all of that is just too much. So, I thought it would be good to talk about it, and bring it out, because I'm not sure what to do about it when it gets that way, because the entire day I ended up doing nothing. Like, even my decision-making process, out the door. I can't make I don't even know what shirt to put on. Like, and I only mention this stuff because I think other people may deal with this, but it's like two electrical wires that are not meeting in my head, and I can't make a decision, and I can't remember how to do things, and I can't, it's a mental thing.
Yeah.
It's a mental health issue, and it was difficult today, and I had a very nice day yesterday, and the disparity, like the difference between the 2 days was just amazing, But you got home and we talked things, and we're like, you know what, we should share this with everybody, because, I have to say that I've met a lot of nice people since I've started. Part of the reason why I decided to do this with you when you asked me to was to get me out of my shell and to get me more talking and things like that. And I've met so many wonderful people on here, some of whom I talk on a personal level with sometimes, So I kind of, I mean, the YouTube people that we talk to are part of my support group.
Well, yeah, and how often do subscribers say, some of our regulars say, if you guys need anything, let us know, message us this, that, the other. I mean, that's a nice offer. That's a really kind extension of yourself. Too,
genuine offer, because I've talked to some people, and we've had some interaction with each other. And, there are people out there that do relate to these things, because I feel crazy, and I feel like I can't say this to people just in my everyday life, because they wouldn't understand it.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna check.
We're just going to check the minutes. So
entertain them for me. We want to make sure you guys don't get cut off.
So we don't get cut off. So anyway, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do that, because when my decision making process is like that, I get nothing done, and then I beat myself up about it, and then I'm just getting lower into that pit, and it's a struggle. I don't know, but I've just rambled on for a while.
Well, that's what I'm here for, and that's what.
Well, that's what the purpose of talking about.
That's what. Yeah, you can't. Rambling comes with the territory.
Right.
I love a good tangent too. I'm a big fan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I think that one thing flows into another, and then pretty soon I'm worried about this. I'm worried about that. I'm worried about money. I'm worried about my job. I'm worried about that. And then if I can't seem to tie that problem up, I can't move on to do anything else. Another character defect of mine. Procrastination, overthinking, all of that stuff, are things that I'm trying to work on. But on days like today, it feels like I haven't worked on them at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I know you do.
Not
You've heard me ramble for
I've lived it.
5 years.
I've lived it seeing it, I've lived it living it.
And you've lived it, too.
So I understand. I don't understand exactly. There's stuff that's unique to you, but there's a lot.
Like the decision thing. How many times where I literally can't you make this decision for me, and it could be something really stupid.
Well, that's the part that I don't understand, but I think I've explained my side on, where you'll have two things that to me don't seem like, should we watch this or that?
Yeah.
And I'll say, well, let's watch this. And you're like, you didn't even think about it.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, to me, it's not a real consequential decision.
Yeah.
Do we watch Golden Girls or do we watch Forensic Files?
Yeah.
If we start watching Golden Girls and don't, like, what bad is going to happen? And what is the wrong show to watch? So,
I mean, and I know that logically, I know.
But like you said, something's not.
But it's not,
firing.
And it becomes debilitating.
Well, I measure my self-worth by my measure of gravity on the Earth.
So I know, and all of this affects self-worth and you know, even self-confidence, you know, and self-acceptance and all of that. It affects all of that.
Yeah, we'll be all right.
But I don't know. But do you want to pause it?
Yeah. You got more to say? I got more to say.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll be back after a brief break.
We're going to switch cameras.
Yeah, we're going to switch cameras. So just give us 1 second, please. We want to share a little bit more with you.
Yeah, just a little more.
Just a little bit more. Because I had an interesting afternoon that I have to tell you about, too. All right. We'll be right back. Now.
Oh, you did it. Good. Okay.
We're good.
Thank you for that brief pause. I just wanted to switch it up a bit.
Just taking a second. It was getting a little heated.
Yes, it was.
Getting a little heated. So.
But anyway, back to the point.
Yeah.
That we were talking about. You're all ruffled.
I'm ruffled.
Yeah.
I'm
Showing
frazzled.
your guns.
My guns. I'm a veal under here.
I
I'm what you would call skinny fat.
got guns. No,
You do. We have chef's arms. That's why. It's the whisking muscles.
Yeah.
So.
But you know how it pertains to like self-worth and self-acceptance and self-confidence, all that. For me, all of this attacks it, and it makes me feel worthless. Kind of like what you were saying about dealing with your weight.
Yeah.
You know, and then like guilt comes into play, and I start thinking about things like that. You know, like, you know, I can be worried about money, and all of a sudden it just explodes into all kinds of different things, you know. And you know, I feel very guilty about like how our financial situation had gone downhill in the last year when I got sick. I work in the private sector, so I didn't have sick days. I didn't have anything like that. So when I don't work, I don't earn an income. So there was a point. It came to a point where I had to quit my job. I couldn't work before I had the medication and they figured out what was going on. And I mean, I literally was off work for about 2 months before I could start to move again. And then I thought I would take a job at a local grocery store because I thought it would be less like strenuous, you know. And that only lasted when that was only part-time, so that was like not even half of my income. And that got overwhelming, and I couldn't do that, and I had to leave there. But I left there and then went back to my old job, and they were very supportive. But I'm still not full-time. I can basically do, 3 to 4 days a week, and I'm okay. But, during that time with all the tests, and my insurance sucked at that time, the co-pays and all of that stuff. And then I was on those massive doses of prednisone, like 160. I went manic. I went manic, and I was not keeping track of the finances. We were down to less than half of our combined income, and it put us into a bad position financially. We had to make some hard decisions, and we were worried. And even to this day, we're getting much better now, but
yeah, we're getting back on our feet.
But I feel guilty about that, and that turns into, not that a bad thing happened to me or us, but that I'm a bad person, and and so I start attacking myself.
Yeah. It's not a bad thing happened, it's I'm a bad thing.
I'm a bad thing. And then that spills over to, well, it's just Yeah, that's just the way that it is. I mean, look at you. You don't. And then I start like looking at the videos. I don't look at the videos that I do, because when I do, I'm like, oh my god, I hate my voice. Mm-hmm. Oh, you sound so gay. Like, well, you should not be doing that. And I literally, on a bad day, I get totally freaked out about that. Like we talked about it last night. You know, I take it all internally and beat myself up.
We were watching back a
over
video, and you were like
freaked out. You
got out of the bathroom and you started to come up with 3 million reasons why we should take it down.
I know. I don't like how I look. I don't like like all of that, you know, and that's just, it's not healthy, you know, and but you know, if you and other people can relate to that, when you're in the midst of that, you can't kind of see a way out of it, you know. You know, it is reality for the moment. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing with like when you're not seeing things clearly, and I have this happen with my mental health all the time. When your version of reality shifts from everybody else's, it still looks like reality to you.
It does.
It doesn't. Sometimes you don't have the insight to see that you're not seeing things clearly. Yeah. You know, it's not like denial. It's not like you know things, but then you're pretending everything's fine.
Pretending.
It's like you really don't see
that
it's that you're not seeing things clearly.
And we're usually able to help each other out of that unless we're both in that. Yeah. You know, and luckily that doesn't happen that often.
No. Oh, but I came home fit to be tied. So I gave you about 40 minutes of an earful? Yeah. And then we checked in with you. Yeah. And then we decided to do something productive.
Well, I mean, you had a kind of rough day at work today.
It was a little rough, suffice it to say. You know, the morning wasn't bad, and then I got called in to help with what could have been an emergency at lunch with someone who was allegedly having a hard time. So they pulled me in just to talk with the person, and that seemed to go okay. That was my lunch break, but that was, you know, what it is. And then I was supposed to cover, we have a drop-in center, and I was supposed to do some covering there because we didn't have a person to work today, so we were like all taking turns. And there was a concern about one of the individuals there, so I had gone outside with another staff member, and bottom line of all of this, the person who came out with me, the other staff member, was like a boss of a boss of a boss of a boss. And I was essentially kind of told that I don't know how to do my job.
Would you that's say how you took it?
That's how I took it. Yeah, that I don't know how to do my job. That was my perception of it. It was.
I mean, the comment was, "See, if you just do it like this, that takes care of it."
Yeah,
that's what he's basically.
Well, that's your interpretation of what I said, so it probably was nothing like either of those.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, it was essentially like, okay, a person needed to. They had something, a piece of paraphernalia they couldn't have in the building or on the property, so to have this discussion with the person was to just say, "Can you please put this in your car or something, and then come back."
And it wasn't drugs, like
it wasn't drugs. No, no. But so the supervisor is talking to this person, trying to have this conversation, and they're escalating the person while the person's having it. Like the conversation is going directions it doesn't need to. This is a simple discussion about this item in your possession cannot be on the property. You need to put it somewhere else. You're welcome to come back once you do that, but you can't have it. It was a gun. He had a gun on him. So you have to remove it from the property because we have a policy here with that. It doesn't matter if you have concealed carry. Nothing. Yeah. So the guy was totally agreeable to it once it got to there. But in the middle of asking him if he had a gun and asking him to move it, there was this whole discussion about the Second Amendment and the right to defend myself and what the Democrats are doing. Like, none of this had to happen. None of this had to come up.
How you should handle yourself, all of that.
And you're responsible for this, and you're responsible. I was like, this was a simple discussion about not having a weapon. I'm not pro-gun or anti-gun. I don't care. Yeah. You know, it's not it had nothing to do with it. It was just, you can't have this here. That's just it. And if you'd like to hold on to it, you can't come here. Like that's
you just can't bring it here. That's all it was.
You just can't bring it here.
Into something different. But
yeah, and of course we know anybody could come in at any time with a weapon and not tell
not
us.
know,
and we wouldn't
right?
know.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
but you happen to know.
but he happened to disclose it, and
Yeah.
he happened to be having a hard day, which he brought to our attention. So that was where the concern came from. And upon de-escalating and fixing this situation, as we're walking away, it was like, see, you just got to build a relationship with them. You got to build a rapport.
Yeah.
I'm not great at every part of my job. There's some parts that I'm just proficient, and there's parts where I have a program that I do, and I'm frankly kind of struggling to keep it together and keep it growing. There's other parts of my job that I'm excellent at.
Yes.
I am very good at certain parts of my job.
I don't work with you, but I know that.
And rapport building is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt a little slighted.
Yeah.
Now, at the same time, if I'm not feeling quite myself, I could be misperceiving this whole thing.
Right.
So
there comes the challenge too.
Yeah. Do I even trust myself?
Yeah.
Because if I'm not having a good day, I don't see things clearly.
Right.
So I did what I could to try to sort it out. I talked to my supervisor after work because we were having the after work cigarette. She had 1, I had 5, I think. And I half vented, half told her how I felt. And she was glad I let her know. And then she said she's going to not be available, so to talk to another supervisor tomorrow and sort that out.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's what I can do. So I had people to vent to. I came home, I talked to you, and then I did give myself a time. I said, okay, I have exactly 10 more minutes to bitch about this, and then I'm going to shut up.
Yeah.
And then we filmed.
Yeah.
So it came back up again.
Well, yeah, but you wanted to bring it up.
I mean, the thing it made me feel like was inferior. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. And how can I question advice from someone high-ranking and highly credentialed when I'm just the peer specialist? That's my certification. I'm a certified peer specialist. So I have lived experience as someone with a mental health issue, and then I have some training to work with folks who do it. So I don't have a college degree in human services, and I haven't worked in administrative positions.
Right.
So it kind of makes, you feel like you should be grateful for any bit of a suggestion you get.
Yeah.
And be grateful
and,
any crumb of training that gets tossed your way.
But like you said, you did, what you needed to do. You talked it out. You came home, talked to me. We're sharing it now,
Yeah, we're doing it now. I mean, we're doing what we could.
I like to end on a positive note because I don't want it to all be doom and gloom. I try to.
No, and actually, I should have said this sooner because there's nothing less attractive to me than self-pity.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, I hope this is taken in the spirit of venting and not that our poor lives suck. Because I'm already starting to feel a little better.
And a bit of support. Yeah, no, I wasn't
after
looking
talking.
for a pity party at all. I just needed to.
No, these are my day's problems. You have your day's problems.
Yes.
You've had your day's problems. Yeah. Not every day is your day. So this just happened not to be our day. It could be our evening.
Yeah.
We can do whatever we want this evening.
Yeah. But on a positive note, like trying to take care of whatever is going on, like for me, physically, I can do what I can do to make myself feel better without hurting myself, taking my medication, giving my body time to rest, trying to pace things out, I mean, that's what I can do about that. Mentally, it's this type of thing, like exposing it, talking about it, if I needed to, I could go to see my therapist if I needed to, like things like that. And, planning some things for the future, like we have some things that we want to do with our channel, even some stupid, like I want to change the background a little bit, that kind of, I just try to find things that can kind of break me out of that cycle, know. And I enjoy doing things like that, so I try to plan to do things like that, So we have we may have a contest on Facebook for our viewers, just planning a new video, when it comes to YouTube and things like that. But I just think that we have to use the tools that we have, or else we're just going to completely sit in it, and it's going to get worse and worse and worse.
Well, I'm big on self-care, and you just described yours up and down, which you do well when you're able to do it.
Try.
When you're able to do it, you feel better.
Yeah.
And my own, too. Like, I work at a really good place. I know I just trashed up and down today's events, but my supervisors are great. The agency I work for is really understanding. they are very aware of some of my limitations and periodic illness, and they are accommodating and thoughtful about it.
And mine are too, and I'm extremely grateful.
I couldn't
for
be
my
more
job.
fortunate than to where I work. And even the
Me
person
too.
that I didn't like how they handled the situation and made me feel like shit, they're not a bad person.
Yeah.
It was just a bad exchange. And a bad,
that's
you know.
all.
And to make sure I feel secure with what happened, I'm talking to my boss tomorrow to see if I feel differently about it in the morning. So that'll help my mental health. There's time in between for me to cool off, and then there's another set of eyes on it. So that'll professionally help me, because if I go into tomorrow as pissed off as I was today, I don't want to work like that.
Right.
You know, and if I have a shitty day at work, I spend more time with them than I do with you some days.
Yeah.
So that's that. As far as my eating, I can eat better.
Yeah,
I have
we're
eaten-
gonna.
I
Yes,
have
we
eaten
are
better
going
before.
to recommit. We are, it's out there now, and we beat ourselves up enough about it.
Yeah.
So now it's time to do something about it.
So recommit to
Weigh
that.
in Wednesday, every Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Good, bad, the ugly. If it's up,
Period.
it's up. If it's
Period.
down, it's down. And then we'll just do it. Doesn't have to be the whole video,
No,
but at least
a check-in.
at least a
weigh-in
couple minute
Wednesday
check-in.
Yep.
So,
But I guess that's about it.
and for my mental health, I need like a shower and a nap and maybe a back rub and maybe a foot massage too.
We'll see.
Yeah, it's all about me.
Mm-hmm.
That's another challenge I have actually going forward. When I don't feel well, I can't see past my nose.
Mm.
I get really self-centered if it goes on for
I
too
think
long.
a lot of people do.
Yeah. It's hard, though, because I have, like, you to think about. So if I get, if you need something, but I'm too sucked into my own head with, how do I feel now? Well, how do I feel now?
Mm.
Why doesn't anyone else tell her how I feel? So. But I don't think I could have felt worse than I did when I got home. So that means I can only feel better as the day goes on.
Yes.
And you're
Me
going to spend
too.
some time outside.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe's better than
Well,
no.
it's getting late, so maybe, I don't know, we'll see.
We'll see.
But I will...
There's
pace
5
myself.
times on that thing, and none of them are now.
No, I think we're over time.
We're over. All right.
I think so.
You think so? Well, we'll see. Well, thank y'all for watching.
Thank you so much for watching and letting us talk.
Please subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. You can follow us on Instagram at SmokeySteveAndMarc.
And Facebook.
At SmokeySteve, and Mark.
Yeah.
Feel free to leave comments, questions, slander. I might be talking to myself right now because we might have run out of time. If I didn't, thank you for watching, and we'll catch up with y'all soon.
Yes, we'll catch you later. Thanks.